Cast operators. Let's consider if I have a variable such as x and I also have a variable such as y. Y is int, x is double. I put a value 10 on the y. Can I put the value of the content of the y to the x? So sometime it's possible the value of the y is 10, and 10, it is right that I declare it as integer, but right here the x is double, and can I put this value right there? Some of this scenario is possible, and we call it implicit conversion. Some of this scenario is impossible, and it's required a form of casting. It means explicitly we have to convert a double to an integer or integer to a double. Rule is as follow. Rule is follow. If you have a byte, or if you have a short, int, long, and so on, go all the way to double. If you try to put from lowest to the highest, is possible, and you can implicitly convert for you and substitute that one. If it is the reverse, if it is you try to put a double in a byte, you have to use the casting. So if we're looking in this example, we're putting right here a int into a double. Let's look at this example. We're putting a int which is 10, and we put him in the double, and if we compile it, it's going to compile our code without any compilation error, and if we ask it run it, it's going to return a value double 10.0, which is similar to 10. Let me bring this one in the window. So if you compile it, no error, and if you run it, it's going to generate the value 10. So as we're going to see right here, we're using a int, and we try to put an int into a double, and it's going to work, no problem. The reverse based in this rule is impossible. If x is integer and y is double, and we try to put a content of a y which is a double to the integer, it's supposed to generate a compilation error. Let's test that. Here is the example. If we try to run it, we change this one from double to integer and change y from integer to double, and we try to put the content of a double y into the x, assign that one, and when we compile it, it's going to give us a compilation error. In this scenario, we have to do a explicit conversion, and we have to use a cast. We put to that one int, convert this y, convert the y to an integer and put him in the x. So compile it, and let's see, compilation is successful, and run it. Run also return us the value of the 10. So don't make mistake, right here it should be the data type. So this is the variable that you want converted to the variable which is the data type of that data type of the x. X is int, and we're asking convert the content of the y to the int and put him in the variable x. Here are more example. We're going to have a public, and right here we have a y. X is integer, y is double, and this is arrow because we are attempting to put the content of a double to the x int. It's impossible, so what we're going to do, we're going to change that one and converting the content of the y which is double to the int, or let's put it this way, casting that one to the int and put him in the x, and then this option is correct and executable. Here is another example. X is int, y is double. We casting the x and putting that one as we did before. We have a char of w. W is a char, and we're asking to cast the char character to x, which is integer. And when we execute it, you're going to see the result is 5 again. So you take this 5 and put him right here on the, convert that one to the integer. From a character number 5, convert it to integer 5. So again, as we said before, the format as we said right here, it's supposed to go from low to high. It's possible. And when you go from the low to high, if this is the data type of this number, this little number is the data type of that one short, we ask you to convert a big number, cast that one to short, and putting value onto the little number. If the 3.7 is a long, we're asking, okay, cast this one to a long data type and put him in the X. X also is a long data type. If this number is a float or double, and we're asking cast that one to the integer and put a data type number integer. And also if the float right here value is data type is float, we're asking to convert this X to a float and put him in the value which is the data type of that one is float, and same way with the other one. Next example, we're going dealing with the final. Final, what it does mean by the final meaning a constant number. So if you try to have a constant, what we mean by the constant, you declaring a variable double. Right here you're going to have double variable rate and put to that one this content. When you put this one, if you put a final in front of the data type, mean you cannot modify the content in this rate. For example, in this example right here, if I attempting to assign the rate to a value 0.8%, it's going to give me error. However, if I want to do that one, I have to do like this one. I have to say at the beginning set the 8 to 8%, and then I can use the rate. As you can see right here, I'm going to use the balance this amount, and then I'm going to asking use the class system object out and method print line and multiply balance by the rate, and rate is 8%. Okay, let's run this example 2. If I put the rate which is we said is final is constant, and I attempting to update that one right here, if I compile it right here, it's going to give me error, and it's going to say you cannot initialize 8 again to a new value right here. But if I'm going to want to change this one, so I'm going to change this one to a constant and put this one to, for example, 80%. And now if I'm going to compile this one, it's going to succeed and it's going to generate the output if I run it.